Buenos días, clase. Hoy vamos a tener una lección corta sobre la salud y las enfermedades. Este es el vocabulario de capítulo 8. Entonces, ustedes tienen sus papeles morados y vamos a empezar con los sustantivos. So, two different ways to say that you have a fever: la fiebre o la calentura. They both are going to be used with the verb tener. Tengo una fiebre o tengo la calentura. La gripe is just the term for the flu, like the real flu. And again, with tener, tengo la gripe. Catarro is just a common cold. There's going to be a couple different ways that you can say that you have a common cold. Tengo catarro is one. Los escalofríos are chills. So very often when you have a fever, you have chills. So pobrecito tiene fiebre y los escalofríos. So poor guy, he has a fever and the chills. When you're sick, you usually have to go to the doctor. So el médico or la médica will be the doctor, depending if it's a man or a woman. And then the doctor's office, we have two ways you could say that. La consulta del médico or el consultorio. Both are ways to say the doctor's office. La farmacia is the pharmacy, so that's pretty much a cognate. La clínica veterinaria, another cognate, that's a veterinary clinic. Now, the actual person, the pharmacist who dispenses the medicines, that could be la farmacéutica or el farmacéutico, again, depending if it's a guy or a girl. La receta is the prescription that you pick up. And this is an interesting word because la receta is also used for a recipe. So if you think about what a prescription really is, somebody has to prepare the ingredients that go into a particular type of medicine. And so in a way, yeah, it's a recipe. It's a recipe for you to get better too. So kind of fun word. Lots of different ways to say the pills, the actual pills that you need to take. So kind of take a look at these and think of what one's going to stick the best in your mind, whether because it's a cognate or because it's easier to spell or because it doesn't have an accent you have to remember, whichever the case is. You can use las pastillas, las píldoras, that one has the accent, los comprimidos, las tabletas, las cápsulas. So again, whichever one works the best for you. El síntoma, lo siento, is a symptom. We actually have quite a few cognates as we go through. What would Spanish video be without Scotty? Lots of cognates as we talk about health. Okay. Few more nouns here. Let me just make this bold. Okay. La diagnosis, that's the diagnosis that you'll get from the doctor if you actually go in. La alergia is an allergy. La inyección is an injection or a shot. La medicina is medicine. La dosis is your dosage, how much you should take. Like most recently, Owen had a cough, and he was getting 5 milliliters of cough medicine, la dosis. La prognosis, that's the prognosis. And so there's a really close cognate there. Basically, that's just the prediction of how long it's going to take you to get well, how long you're going to be sick, how fast the medicine would work, or, you know, if it's something more serious, how long do you have left to live? La prognosis. La tuberculosis, that's tuberculosis. Again, I have la tableta here. I guess I didn't need it. But these are lots of cognates, so I have it in this list. La aspirina is aspirin. El antibiótico is an antibiotic. Una máscara is a mask like you might have to wear for your eyes. And then el hospital, where you would go to get a more serious treatment. en el piano. Okay. Unas frases. So it's often helpful to have a few sentences that show you how the vocabulary is being used. Donde te duele? By now you should be really familiar with donde, where. And we'll have this verb doler, which means to hurt. And it's going to be used in the same way as interesar, gustar, and aburrir. So we'll use the me, te, le, nos, os, les with it. So donde te duele means where does it hurt you? Abre la boca is open the mouth. Toma la pastilla, lo siento, is take the pill. ¿Cómo estás? We've used this. That's how are you? Great way to use it now in this chapter about being sick. ¿Qué te pasa? What's happening with you? El enfermo tiene que guardar cama. The sick guy has to stay in bed. Tiene escalofríos porque tiene fiebre. He has chills because he has a fever. Ella está de mal humor. She is in a bad mood. No está de buen humor. She is not in a good mood. Very redundant, but you can see how either expression can be used. All right, moving on to adverbs and adjectives. Después is after. También is also. And then antes is before. Notice después and también have accents. Enfermo just means sick. Mal, bien, you should be familiar with these. Mal is not feeling well, and bien is feeling well. Cansado is tired. Nervioso is nervous. Contento is content. Triste is sad. So these adjectives here on this side you're going to be using with the verb estar. Estoy enferma, estoy mal, no estoy bien, estoy cansada, estoy nerviosa, estoy contenta, estoy triste. Okay, so since we're talking about illnesses, quick review of some body parts, but some new ones here. La garganta is your throat, la boca is the mouth, la cabeza is your head, el frente is your forehead, los ojos are your eyes, la nariz is the nose, los labios are your lips, la lengua is your tongue, el estómago is the stomach, and las orejas are your ears. So, you know, the doctor's going to look at those various body parts or in those various body parts, so it's good to know what those are. Los verbos. Okay. Within this part of the verbs, there are some that are put together with an adjective to use it in a certain format. So look at the ones where I have tener or estar specifically with something else. Examinar is just a cognate for examine. Recetar is to prescribe. Vender is to sell. Despachar is another way to say to sell, but this is used with a pharmacist in particular. So our English word that has kind of fallen out of use is to dispense, because it's only the pharmacist who can dispense the medications since they need special training for that. Abrir is to open, cerrar is to close. The reason I have an asterisk by cerrar is because it is a stem changing verb. So this is one where that E is going to change to an IE when you are conjugating it. Creer is to believe. I have it with this unit because el médico cree que no está muy enfermo. The doctor does not believe that he is very sick. Estornudar is to sneeze. Toser is to cough. Estar enfermo is to be sick. Estar constipado. This is not a cognate. So it does not mean to be constipated. It means to be all stuffed up, or even just as simple as to have a cold. Now, if you say estar estreñido, that is to be constipated, just so you know. Tener fiebre is to have a fever. Tener náuseas is to be nauseated. Tener vómitos, pretty close to understand that, to be vomiting. Oh, I have it twice. Tener vómitos. must have really wanted you to know that. So to be throwing up, tener diarrea is to have diarrhea. Tener calambres is to have cramps. Tener la gripe is to have the flu. Tener catarro is just to have a regular cold. Same thing with estar resfriado. Or if you like using the verb tener, because we've worked with that, tener un resfriado. So in this case, when you're using it with estar, we might translate it more as to be sick, but in Spanish it's actually meaning like a person has a cold. So the translation gets a little tricky there. We don't have quite the same translation. Tener tos is to have cough. Tener dolor de is to have pain then of whatever you want to. I'm going to try to put blank in here. Whatever you'd like to put in the blank. For some reason, it doesn't. There we go. Tener dolor de. Oh, my blank is over here. That's what happened. Tener que guardar cama is to have to stay in bed. Tener escalofríos is to have chills. Estar de mal humor is to be in a bad mood. Estar de buen humor, in a good mood. Estar en cama is actually to be in bed sick. The distinction is if you put a la in front, estar en la cama is just to be in bed sleeping. So there's a slight difference there that really can change the meaning of your verb. And that's it. Only one side of a piece of paper for your vocabulary. Para capítulo 8. Es un capítulo más corto. Bueno, adiós. Hasta luego.